Welcome to NASA's Summer of Innovation Lesson Support videos. I'm Kat Balch, and this is Food for Thought in the Life Sciences module. In this instructional video, I will tell you how NASA has improved some of the foods that you eat, a quick overview of the 6 foods in this activity, and a place to find other related activities. Since humans have been traveling to space, NASA has been continually improving the quality of the food astronauts eat in space. The food on the first mission was mashed into small tubes. Astronauts today have much more options, and food is more like what we eat on Earth. Popular food selections by astronauts include shrimp cocktail, smoked turkey, and bread pudding. It is still packaged in individual servings. Teaching your students about food in space is a great way to teach them about healthy living, nutrition, measurement, chemistry, and life sciences. Everybody loves watching the videos of the astronauts chasing their food around the galley and ways liquids act in space. Students' curiosity about how astronauts prepare their meals makes this both an educational and fun set of activities. Meals on the International Space Station are closer to what you eat at home, but because of limitations of storage space, refrigeration, and microgravity, many alterations need to be made for the food. Because NASA engineers are continually looking for ways to improve the quality of food for astronauts, technology has been developed to keep the foods at the grocery store fresher, longer, and more nutritional. For example, your potato chips stay crisper longer because of a small amount of nitrogen added to each bag. Also, baby formula is more nutritional because of the NASA research. The NASA spinoff website in the bookmark section has many examples of how NASA has improved the quality of the food that you eat. There are 6 activities as part of the Summer of Innovation Food for Thought lessons. All come from the Space Food and Nutrition Education Guide. There are updated food lists and videos on the NASA website that you can include with these lessons. In food preparation for space activities, students measure the proper amounts and mix ingredients of rehydratable foods and drinks. One of the foods they will make is pudding in a sealable bag. Using the same technique that astronauts would use, they will measure all the dry ingredients and then add water in small amounts until it's the proper consistency. In the next activity, students will plan a 5-day flight menu and design a food tray that can be used in space. The International Space Station crew menus can be found at the website located in the bookmark section. After the students plan a 5-day balanced menu, they will make a sample food tray for one meal. Students can cut images from magazines or make something more elaborate by using food packaging. This makes a great activity for family projects, science fairs, and space weeks. Now, the USDA has come up with a new food recommendation guide. It's called the Food Plate. You might want to consider adjusting the activity to incorporate both food guides as the students plan their 5-day menu. In the food selection activity, the students will determine the acceptability of food products for spaceflight by participating in a sensory taste panel. Students will rate a variety of foods from 1 to 10 on how they like the appearance, the color, odor, flavor, texture, and the overall taste of the food. They will go through the same process that astronauts do in selecting which meals they would like to eat during their missions. You can select foods for this activity from the astronaut food list, or you can just use a regular lunch menu for the students and have their taste test that way. This is a great activity because the students get to use descriptive words and analyze how they like certain foods. For the mold growth activity, students will look at some of the factors that scientists use to determine what the shelf life of foods are, how long they can store, and under what different conditions. In this activity, students will explore the same factors after observing, measuring, and recording mold growth on different types of breads. The next activity has students focusing on how much food packaging weighs. Taking 1 pound of anything to space is expensive, and we don't want to spend a lot of money on food packaging. Thinking about the amount of waste in our daily eating ties recycling into this activity too. Students will collect and weigh food packaging. Now, currently on the International Space Station, the H-transfer vehicle brings up supplies and then is reloaded with the trash. It takes about 2 months, and then it will undock and re-enter the atmosphere. This photo shows all the bundles of the packaged supplies. In the last activity, students will rate how fruit ripens and use a safe chemical to inhibit the ripening process. During spaceflight, fresh fruits and vegetables have a short shelf life and must be eaten within a few days. Learning ways to prevent over-ripening of fruits and vegetables would make it easier to bring more fresh items along on a space trip. And it will also help prolong the shelf life of products on Earth, and that would save consumers money on not having to throw away rotten food after just a few days home from the store. A great new resource has been written by Stennis Space Center. This Food for Thought Educator Guide includes middle school level experiments. One of them is designing a robot that's capable of handling foods. Students will also test for contamination. They'll investigate liquids and create a special space cookie recipe and bake it for taste testing. This guide will complement your other food and space related activities. Thank you for joining us as we explore together in NASA's Summer of Innovation.